What's up, men? Today, this is Chris from the Warrior Poet Journal, and right now we're going to talk about praying for purity. All right, so before we talked about, this is a series on prayer and worship and devotion, how to pray. So, pray for purity. So, why should we pray for purity? Well, and how? We read the word, we understand what it means, we watch movies, we watch Gladiator, we say, that's awesome, and I want to be like that. But we don't have any way to be like that. Devotion is how you be like that. So devotion is how you change who you are. Devotion sets who you are. So what do you care about? What do you love? And who do you want to be? And one of the things is purity. We want to be pure. Why should men want to be pure? Well, there's a whole blog on this on the warriorpoetjournal.com, and you can look at it. But I used to think purity was for girls. Oh, you had a purity ring. Oh, isn't that cute? And women are supposed to be pure, and men are just supposed to be rough and experienced and all that stuff. But there's a reason for men to be pure. There's a reason for sexual purity and for purity in how you think, even about violence. I mean, there needs to be purity about that. There needs to be a God-honoring point of view for everything. Sex, violence, everything. There needs to be a God-honoring point of view. But how do I be like that, right? I mean, it's one thing for me to say, oh, I want to be this honorable man. How do you be this honorable man? How do you be faithful to your family? Because you know that your faithfulness to your family gives you focus. You're focused on your family and your family only, and your wife and your wife only. You're not drawn away by sin. You're not drawn away by lust. You don't waste time. You don't waste energy. You don't potentially fall into a trap that hinders your ability to do anything. Man, if you get caught in some traps, not only are you not any kind of hero at all, you're no Maximus if you're just trying to tread water, right? Men need victories. We need to have victories. We can expect victories, but that doesn't happen without things like purity. All right, so let's talk about that. So how do you pray for purity? Well, I have some notes here. Let me read them to you. You pray that he will lead you forward into the day, right? Pray for purity. Pray that he will lead you forward in purity into the day. Like a general leads his troops, right? Man, how cool is that he's the general, right? I just watched Gladiator again, right? So one of my favorite scenes is when, if you remember, the gladiators are sent in, and everybody's watching. You're in the Colosseum. The gladiators are sent in with Maximus as one of them, and then and by then his men understand who he is. They know who he is. They know he's a general of Rome, right? That basically got left for dead and became a gladiator, and the gods, however that worked, brought him back to Rome to kind of face the guy who was responsible for killing his family. But we're not at that point yet. Right now, he's performing before the emperor and before this grand audience. And so the gladiators are supposed to come in and die. And the Romans that are supposed to win, this is supposed to be the battle against Hannibal and what's that city-state that he was? Someone can put it in the notes. I don't know. Can't remember. But Carthage. Yeah. So anyway, so they're coming in with chariots, and these gladiators just have shields. Man, the gladiators, they're supposed to get slaughtered and die right in front of everyone in this. And Maximus is like, has anybody served in the military? Has anybody been in the army? And one guy's like, I served under you at whatever. And he's like, all right, follow my lead, right? And so he's basically telling them, okay, get into your shield formation. So the Romans are expecting them to just scatter, right? And this is going way off track. The Romans expect the gladiators just scatter and fight individually, right? And just get picked off one by one so easily by these chariots. But Maximus has other plans, and he's just like, all right. And so they gather in their shields, and they go into formations, and they move like a military unit, right? Flank the enemy. I don't know what all they did. The cinematography made it confusing, but they did some cool stuff, and they ended up winning. The gladiators ended up winning, right? And massively, not just a little bit, but massively, because they were coordinated. They had this general, right, who led them. And the general of our lives, the one that we should be looking to, is that so much more than Maximus. Maximus was a child at war compared to our God. According to the Bible. This is the Bible talking. This isn't me just making it up because I want God to be like Maximus. No. It's actually kind of the opposite. God is the one who instills us with these beautiful things, these wonderful like ability and desire to fight with honor and to fight with skill. He's instilled that in us. So right now what we're doing is we're not going to some pagan god who we've made up, from that little piece of the real God that God's put in our heart, and we've just kind of crafted our own little God from that. We're going to the source. We're going to the cornerstone of all existence for this kind of thing. So we pray that he will lead you forward in the day, just like Maximus. You follow him. We trust God. It's not God who trusts us. He's the warrior. He's the general, not me, right? And so we need to get that straight, and that's kind of awesome. So I'm not asking God to lead me forward into my day, and this is key, so that I can get what I want. I'm not asking for a spirit of order. I'm not asking for a spirit of skill, not at first. I'm asking for the spirit of the living God. I'm asking for the God who made the universe and understands how it all works, every single piece of it, not just the war part, but the love part. And I want him to make me the most balanced, focused instrument of war possible. And not because I want to be something awesome or be heroic. In fact, we look at the character of the Happy Warrior, that poem by Wordsworth, and we look at that and we say, that's who I want to be like. I want to be like that warrior who's happy, who's filled with love, and who there's a verse in it that says, whether I have a great name or disappear into obscurity, don't let me worry about that. Let me be honorable, right? And it's this whole idea, and I wish I could remember the exact words. But I'm not asking for even a spirit of love or even a spirit of wisdom. First, I'm asking for the spirit of the living God to fill me up, to inspire me with him, inspire me with his spirit. And I don't know how it happens. I don't know, you can say, oh, it's a combination of my excitement and as I focus on God and his spirit filling me up and enabling that. I can tell you that's what it feels like. I can't tell you for sure that it feels different than just my own excitement. But when it happens, I'm just like, God, thank you for your spirit, because it tells me so much about my relationship with you. But it also tells my heart, and it's me telling my heart that he is all that I need, that he's the general. He's the one who takes care of stuff. He's the one who has all the power. He's the one who moves the chess pieces. I want to pray for purity, and so that I can have an unobstructed view of him, so that I can move through my day without obstruction, without distraction, and so that I can focus and do exactly what he wants me to do when the opportunity presents itself. And purity is at the core of that. If I do not have purity, I do not know how to hear him. All right. So pray for purity. That's how I pray for purity. Lead me into the day, Lord, with your spirit. Lead me with purity. Lead me with focus, a pure focus on what you want me to do, a pure focus on you, unobstructed by sin. and then you deal with those sins, and help me to want to deal with those sins. Help me to desire you so much that I don't want to sin, that I want purity. All right. So this has been Chris from the Warrior Poet Journal. And to find out more or join my mailing list, go to warriorpoetjournal.com and sign up. Thanks very much. We'll talk